are listening to Curtain Jerks right here on the Comedy Podcast Network. I'm Scott Narver.
And I'm Steve Sears.
And this is a special Gets Jerked episode of Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain. Oh, man. Did you hear how fun that title was?
Yeah. You know, I remember when I first heard about this movie and I read the back. Read the back of the DVD case. While at their favorite amusement park, Mega Mountain, the three ninja brothers witness the kidnapping of TV action superstar Dave Dragon and meet up against evil Lothar Zog and his kid-hating boss, Medusa, who want to hold the park hostage. The three ninja brothers must strike back with a vengeance.
Now, these listeners don't even know who all these characters are.
That's true. That's the DVD back cover. I remember reading the back cover on the VHS.
It did say who played these characters.
I thought we'll reveal that in a second. That'll be a surprise.
Okay.
I remember reading the back of the VHS copy, and they really made it sound like Hulk Hogan reveal.
What? Oh man, I bet he's Medusa.
Is an old washed up like TV star, and this is his chance at redemption. And then watching the movie, it was not nearly as heartfelt or like complicated as that.
No, it's not what exists now on TNA.
Yeah.
And by the time we're saying this in recording, that might not be the case anymore.
Yeah, I don't know
Who knows
what whenever you hear this, if TNA, it's like a time capsule. Like, is TNA still around?
Any day that we talk about TNA, it's like, well, tomorrow might be a different day.
Yeah, everybody.
And Hogan may have just gone, fuck it, Vince, hey, Vince, I need you back.
Yeah, I need you back.
Like, you left me, asshole. I need you back, Vince.
Yeah, Vince, come back to me, baby.
Yes, we watched Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain. Now, I'll say this. For our UK listeners, they might not be familiar with the Three Ninja film franchise.
I don't know.
I think that's a pretty fair bet.
That's a fair bet. I would also bet maybe they're the reason it's called a franchise is because of our UK listeners. Like I never quite know. It's not an insult. I'm just saying things get picked up elsewhere, you know?
I don't think this got picked up anywhere, because if it did, the Japanese version of these movies would be rad, because those are the kids that are doing it in the first place. They always cut to the stuntman of the kids doing something elaborate.
That's true.
And it's some Asian guy or an Asian child that's just awesome.
I think the Asian equivalent of this would be called Three Cowboys.
Ooh, and they're shooting guns, but then it's a white kid in there shooting a gun.
Yeah, every time they cut to the stuntman.
Every time they cut to the stuntman.
Cut to the stuntman.
Okay. God, how do you set these movies up? All right, the Three Ninjas movies.
I saw the first Three Ninjas movie in the theater.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh my God. All right, let me see if I can pull this up a little bit. I remember I've seen the first one. These Three Ninja movies are about three kids that are trained by their grandfather, Victor Wong, who the majority of people know.
Victor Wong is portraying a character in this film, right? He's not playing Victor Wong.
No, well, Victor Wong is Egg Shen.
Yeah, okay, so he's just Victor Wong.
Victor Wong is most notably known in
Big Trouble,
Big Trouble in Little China as Egg Shen. He's got that sort of bulgy one eye, and then he's hilarious.
He sounds like Mako from Conan. Conan
he sounds like another Asian guy.
Well, they have the same voice that gets real loud.
Mako. And then he's also in The Golden Child, one of my personal favorites too.
Oh yeah, okay.
See a little naked man running around with a $50 bill? I'm gonna kick your ass when I find you. Let me see. Okay, Three Ninjas came out in 1992. Then in 1994, Three Ninjas Kick Back,
which I did not see.
Oh, you didn't see that one?
Did you see Kickback?
I might have seen like clips of that one.
I saw one.
At that point, I was in high school, brother.
Yeah, man, I ain't got time for Three Ninjas.
Man, I was 12 before that, and then I was in high school, and I had to get rejected by ladies then.
Excuse me, sir. Are you thinking about renting Three Ninjas this evening?
Pardon me, but I'm a freshman in high school.
Are you interested in leasing a Cadillac?
I need to use your phone so that way I can call my mom and get a ride home.
Your pager's going off.
Oh, shit. And then some brilliant executive mind said, all right, Three Ninjas Kick Back in 1994, Three Ninjas Knuckle Up 1995.
Oh, so that's the third one.
That's the third one.
Wow.
And what we have done is we've watched the fourth one. Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain. I could attempt to look this up. This might be a little difficult because the kids in this one are not the same kids that were in the original.
No, they are not. Do you remember Surf Ninjas with Leslie Nielsen?
Yes, and Rob Schneider and Ernie Reyes Jr.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Ernie Reyes Jr. was the head surf ninja, right?
Yeah, he was the one that could do ninja stuff.
And then there was his two brothers.
Yes,
Or
that
friends.
didn't look like each other at all.
Yeah.
I think at least one set were brothers, and whether Rob Schneider was just
He was just hanging out.
the buddy.
Yeah.
But there was a video game of it that they were playing, like the kid plays and it happens.
Oh, like they released the. That's a good
no,
tie-in.
like like there is a game, Surf Ninjas, within the movie, and the kid's playing it, and I remember he's doing stuff. He's playing the game, and then that stuff is happening to Leslie Nielsen.
Oh, weird.
Just 90s weird mess bullshit. I don't know. I can't keep track if these kids are all the same throughout which movies are
No,
not.
they're not the same. By the third one, they decided they just get kids who could do a lot of karate stuff.
Yeah, but we're in the fourth one, so bad news all over it. So the kids are different. The kids
Wait
are
a minute,
super
Scott.
weird, but
Why
they're
did
the
we
same
even? Why
kids.
did we even watch this movie?
Well, I'm getting that. I was going to say the main children seem to be not aging at all, but it's Rocky, Colt, and TumTum.
AKA Sin Cara, Rey Mysterio, and Suicide.
Yeah, you would think it'd be Colt, might be Colt Cabana. So you got these three goofy kids. TumTum is the littlest one, and he eats a lot.
Yeah.
That's his whole thing. Like, he just eats a bunch. But it looks like a toddler fighting,
Yeah.
which is very uncomfortable.
It's very strange.
Colt is the middle one.
He's the cool one. It's your Raphael.
Yeah, he's like your Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
But who is not, it wasn't Jonathan Taylor Thomas in any of them.
And then your oldest one you got is Rocky, who now is going to turn 15. Has got to start thinking about getting a job.
Getting some wheels so he can pick up some chicks.
Yeah, he's not thinking about being a ninja anymore with his brother because he's getting tired of being a ninja. So we open up on this movie with Victor Wong, who is their grandfather, who, I'll say it, he's looking like JR at this point. He's looking like good old Jim Ross because he's been hit with some Bell's palsy bad.
He doesn't have Bell's palsy, does he?
Look, I mean, you saw his face. Like, it's the same
Scott,
sort of
that's
contorted.
acting. That's acting.
Well, he was acting like his face hurt a lot and didn't have much mouth movement. This was his last film, by the way. I looked that
It
up.
Wow.
Which
By the
sucks.
way, he set up an amazing training course for the ninjas, like in this giant warehouse that's by his farmhouse. It was
Yes.
so cool.
Yeah, these tires that they didn't run, these wooden swords that
Would drop when you ran past him, and then there was these
Fireworks.
these baseball
flames.
these baseball bat windmills. It was really cool.
Yeah, and shooting up flames that will possibly burn your grandchildren.
Yeah, he was great grandpa.
So we find out that they're excellent ninjas. They're so good at this point, yet they have the fault of not being able to ninja in the dark.
That's right.
You turn off the lights, and they're complete retards.
Yeah, they're like
They swing at nothing.
They call them in the ninja community. They call them daytime ninjas.
They just fall down. They're really dumb.
Mm-hmm.
So they go home, but they have a big trip planned up. But before we see this big trip that's going to happen, we see their TV hero. And by their TV hero, I mean
Our TV hero.
Yeah, just TumTums, because the other one's not watching, right? Isn't it just him?
Yeah.
The other ones don't give a shit because the one wants a car.
They got to worry about getting a car, getting some wheels, getting some chicks.
And
And Colt has some sort of
Weird hair issues.
looking
with
out the
his stupid
window,
ponytail.
thinking about his life.
Well, I'm the middle one. So we are introduced to Dave Dragon, who all of you know as Hulk Hogan. That's
Awesome.
right. Has to play a character with the same first initials in both names.
Alliteration. So you know it's Hulk Hogan.
Yeah, Dave Dragon, Hulk Hogan. Hulk Hogan has some sweet hair. Whoa, that is filled in on the cover
You think
because
so?
it's thin. Yeah, like when you watch the movie, it's a realistic-ish looking wig on top of his head. Like, it's thin blonde hair, but you can see through it. This is on the cover of the box. That's just filled in. That's just luscious. That's phony.
He's tearing through the poster. He's so excited.
So imagine he has a show that kind of is like a Power Ranger show, except he's the lead Power Ranger that never transforms like with a helmet or anything like that. He's just an all-American dude with black gloves and this weird belt around his chest where he's got a fist on it and then like red ninja pants.
It's the closed fist way, Scott. Truth, honor, respect, endurance, and teamwork.
Are those really them?
I think so. Maybe not endurance.
Holy shit. All right. Yeah, he's got his 5 rules that are more than eat your vitamins, say your prayers, and,
Touch the pythons if you're ready.
touch them.
Touch the pythons, baby, if you're ready. Touch them if you're ready.
So he's very close to what he's already portraying as the character. Not a real stretch for him.
Yeah, but what is this? This is 96?
No, 98.
What was he doing in 98?
I was graduating high school, motherfucker.
What you doing? At that point,
I was leaving high school and saying, hey, it's time to not still go out. No, that's not true. I had a girlfriend for a
What
little
was
bit.
he doing in 98?
Who, Hulk Hogan?
Yeah, was he showing up in WCW on Nitro every, 9 weeks?
Yeah, that was Nitro time. He was Hulk Hogan in WCW.
Hollywood in it. This is the Hollywood part of Hollywood Hulk Hogan, is this movie.
He started being NWO Hollywood Hulk Hogan in 96. I don't know when it ended. I didn't see much WCW. This should be on you.
Yeah?
You were a WCW guy.
I guess I was. I spent so much time at the power plant trying to buy Gatorade and get some power bars because it was right by my bus stop.
This makes me wonder about Hulk Hogan's career when he was doing this stuff, because he thinned down a lot.
For this?
Well, in that time period, Thunder in Paradise, all that stuff, all the other stuff that he was doing, he was a lot thinner in frame.
Well, Scott, that's just because at house shows he was doing a lot more technical work.
Is it? Or is it because when he had to do jump kicks and shit like that, they have to find someone that looks like him? So to find a 300-plus pound body double is damn near impossible.
I'm just kidding. Hulk Hogan doesn't do house shows. Check his contract.
Well, yeah, Hulk Hogan's fight scenes are pretty amazing, because when he's fighting and the camera zoomed in on him when he's punching, he's awesome.
Yeah.
And then cut far away, weird wig.
I found out that's
jump kicks.
So that other guy is Craig Shugart, who is, I think, Hulk Hogan's go-to stunt guy, because he's
Really?
also in the Thunder in Paradise films.
Well,
Speaking of which, I should point out, I am an unabashed fan of the Thunder in Paradise TV show and the original film.
I am not.
It's a good show, man.
I remember
Knight
seeing
Rider
one of them
in Florida on the water.
Well, I didn't watch Knight Rider either.
They even had an underwater prison episode where
Does
they have
Lehman
to fight.
play an old cop?
I think Sting is in it. They go to an underwater prison and Sting is there. It's pretty cool.
Really?
Yeah, Sting's a bad guy. That might have been Sequest, but I'm almost positive it was Thunder in Paradise.
Sting was the dolphin in Sequest.
Oh man, he is a great actor.
Well, wait, what's his name? Craig
Shugart.
Well, the Rolodex is at Craig Shugart.
You wanted to call him? See how he's doing?
Well, yeah, I've never talked to the guy, but apparently you seem to know about him.
Yeah, let's call him up. Oh, it's ringing.
Who is this?
Hello, Mr. Shugart.
Oh, God. Don't talk so loud.
Mr. Shugart?
Yeah, hi.
Hi, Mr. Shugart. This is the Comedy Wrestling Podcast.
God, I don't have enough money to pay you guys. Look, all right, just give me a couple more months.
What?
Just
Mr.
give me a
Shugart,
couple more
Mr.
months.
Shugart, this isn't about money.
Oh, God. Oh, isn't it? Isn't everything about money? Oh, look, just give me a little bit more time, all right? The missus is left. Where's my kid? All right, I don't know where the kid is. Look, just give me a little bit more time.
Mr. Shugart, we just recently saw the film Three Ninjas, and we wanted
I'm not in that movie.
What?
I'm not in that movie. You can check the records. I'm not in Three Ninjas.
I'm almost sure you are.
No, I was, well, funny enough, I was in one of the later releases. I was in, Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain, but no, God, if I could be in the original of anything, that'd be fantastic, and just build a franchise from there.
Oh, well, I'm sorry. I meant Three Ninjas. We wanted to talk to you about your film career.
Who's we? God, I don't have the money. Look, if it's something about the girl, I don't know what happened to her. I thought she was of age.
Mr. Shugart, we just wanted to talk to you about the movies you've been in.
God, look.
It has nothing to do with money, Mr.
You
Shugart.
sound like cops. Look, I didn't do nothing, all right? Look, I thought she was of age.
Mr. Shugart, we're outside of your apartment right now.
Oh, Christ.
Listen to me, all right? If you just answer a few of our questions, we'll leave you alone.
I want this flush. Why want this cocaine flush?
Listen to me. Take it easy. Just answer a few of our questions, okay?
Oh, God, I just need a drink.
Focus, Mr. Shugart.
Oh, God.
Were you or were you not Hulk Hogan stuntman?
Yeah. Oh, yeah, the Hulkster. Yeah. We used to go way back, me and him.
Yeah?
We were buddies, me and that guy. He stopped calling me. Just got too big. He said he didn't need me anymore.
Do you recall working on Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain?
I do recall working on Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain. I recall having those kids having to let them beat up all my friends. All my friends who are professional fighters, professional stuntmen, and children having to beat them up. Do you know how humiliating that is? You know what that could do to a man? Do you know how much drinking and how much coke and how many hookers and how many dead hookers and how much cat choking you have to do in order to get through a day?
Sir, I've never had to ever think about
I have
cat
to strangle
choking.
a cat right now in order to feel alive.
Is that what that sound is?
You die so I might live. You die so I may live. You die so I may live.
Mr. Shugart, Mr. Shugart.
Look in my eyes.
Mr. Shugart.
Huh? What?
Mr. Shugart.
You guys want a dead cat?
What? No.
$6.
No.
$6.
What? I had to call Florida to get a hold of you. How am I ever supposed to get a cat from you for $6? The shipping
You're outside my apartment.
What?
Whoa. You're not outside my apartment?
Mr. Shugart. Mr. Shugart.
Hey! Ain't nobody there.
Mr. Shugart, we're in a van across the street.
Oh, all right. Oh, God.
Yeah, we're watching you.
I gotta chop up this body.
No, don't. No need to do that.
I know you're somebody's daughter. But I gotta chop you up.
Mr. Shugart, listen to me.
What?
Mr. Shugart, don't
God.
hurt anyone.
No.
All right?
Oh, you mean like those kids hurt my pride?
Yeah, I was about to say. It seemed
And
like
Hulk Hogan, he left me for dead.
it seemed like TumTum, the little boy, was he working pretty stiff? It looked like he was working pretty stiff.
That kid broke my tailbone.
You broke your tail.
He broke my tailbone.
Your coccyx.
Yeah, my coccyx. I've never been able to do martial arts correctly again. And that's what I'm hired for is martial arts. Because Hulk Hogan can't do martial arts. That's what I do.
You were fantastic in Three Ninjas High Noon at
I
Mega
can't
Mountain.
jump kick anymore, all thanks to TumTum. That little fuck.
Very, very good, Mr. Shugart.
That little fuck. If I ever see TumTum, I'm going to shoot him. And I'm going to strangle his cat.
Hey, Mr. Shugart.
Who is this?
This is the Curtain Jerks Comedy Wrestling Podcast. This is not a prank phone call. We actually wanted to interview. Thank you for joining us on our program.
It's been a pleasure. Could you mail me $6?
I'll see what I can do.
Thank you very much.
Okay.
Whoa.
Exclusive interview with Craig Shugart.
Wow. All right, so back to the film. And Craig, if you're listening to this, I hope things get better.
Yeah, all our love from Curtain Jerks.
So we have evil villains that are planning on infiltrating an amusement park, and not just any amusement park, Mega Mountain.
And not just any villains, Lonnie Anderson.
Who plays Medusa.
And the immortal, but, well, you know what I mean.
Yeah.
The
Lothar Zog, her right-hand henchman.
And keeper of our hearts, Jim Varney.
Yes, Jim Varney, who played Ernest.
Yeah.
Famously played Ernest. Very funny actor and comedian. Lonnie Anderson, boy. She was
very sexy.
She's on WKRP in Cincinnati. Other than that, I don't know what Lonnie Anderson...
Check the IMDb. What else she do? She besides Burt Reynolds. Hey-o.
Yeah, Lonnie Anderson.
I didn't know anything about Lonnie Anderson. Growing up, all I knew was that she was in the tabloids a lot with Burt Reynolds.
Yeah, and right away it says actress, WKRP in Cincinnati. Oh, shit. Like, known for WKRP in Cincinnati, Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain, and A Night at the Roxbury. And then it's just...
Wow.
Shit you've just never heard of. So she's a very pretty lady, and apparently gets paid for that, and she talks well.
Yeah.
So they're the
but Jim Varney was awesome.
yes we got our villains, and now the three ninjas they have a trip of going to Mega Mountain.
Yeah, for TumTum's birthday.
Yeah, because they're tired of being ninjas. They just want to be kids, and Grandpa's all upset, and so they go and they meet some girl in their neighborhood that's moving in. And she's a high-tech wizard with gadgets and computer know-how, so that won't come into play or anything like that. So they
her
go
dad's
to the park.
in the special effects business.
Yeah, which I thought her dad was Tom Savini.
Yeah, that would have been great.
So they go.
And just have a hypersexualized Tom Savini show up.
Cock gun.
Yeah.
So they go to Mega Mountain, and meanwhile, the bad guys are infiltrating Mega Mountain from the ocean. We don't know where they are. We don't know where Mega Mountain is.
I assume they're on a coast.
Yeah, we assume they're on a coast. I saw somebody wearing a Nebraska sweatshirt, and you saw somebody wearing a
Bulls sweatshirt.
So I don't know where Mega Mountain exists, because at times we see that it's on an ocean, and at other times it is not. So they infiltrate through jet skis and then go underneath through the water, like under the subterranean park that is below the land. And that's when this movie goes from 0 to 35.
Just instantly.
Instantly. This movie becomes Die Hard for children.
Yeah, these the bad guys have AK-47s, they wear Hawaiian shirts and sunglasses, and they take over every facet of this park. I mean, Scott, it is a tactical takedown of an entire park. They got the whole thing down on lock.
And they've got every single type of character as a part of the bad guys.
Yeah, they've got CJ, the cliched Jamaican.
Mm-hmm.
I that's what I think CJ stands for. He even wears the hat and has very big dreadlocks.
Oh, yes.
Who are the other guys?
You got the three cousins.
The three cousins
of Lonnie Anderson.
Surprising cameo. Find out who this guy's name was.
Okay.
The camp counselor from Salute Your Shorts.
As you know, if you're an avid listener of the podcast, there's that tie-in that I knew Sponge in high school when I was too busy getting no pussy.
Yeah, that's right. I forgot about that.
Yeah.
Didn't we thought that, was he in drama? Did you guys go out for the same projects?
What, me and the camp counselor?
No, you and Sponge.
Yeah, me and Sponge auditioned for Dracula, and I got the part.
Of Renfield?
Mm-hmm.
And he got the national TV show.
Yeah, he just showed up in a bunch of cool shit is all. Kirk Bailey.
Kirk Bailey.
Kirk Bailey was Kevin Ugly.
Man, magnificent. He was magnificent. He was a great bumbling goon, henchman.
Wait a second. Oh my God. Okay, apparently this guy, on looking on IMDb, he does additional voices. He is an additional voice in The Call, the WWE film The Call.
Wow.
What the fuck kind of weird world is this? This is amazing. So yeah, this guy is also in this movie, is in High Noon at Mega Mountain. He plays Carl.
Oh, Carl. Cousin Carl.
Yeah.
And then there's also...
So the three cousins should be described. There's him.
There's a guy who looks like Steve Perry from Journey,
Mm-hmm.
complete with weird Steve Perry black hair wig.
Yes.
And then, no, I'm not fucking shitting you, Bray Wyatt.
But Bray Wyatt...
Bray Wyatt-er, like two Bray Wyatts combined.
Like duct taped to each other, because this dude's fat.
He was big, but he looked just
But
like
that's
Bray
what
Wyatt.
was funny about him,
Hawaiian
because
shirt,
he's a fat guy.
black pants, t-shirt. All he needed was a little corn cob hat.
But they take over the park like Die Hard. They're taking over Nakatomi Plaza, but this is Mega Mountain.
Yeah, it's
They've got machine guns everywhere.
They go up to people like who are watching over the rides, and they just beat them up. And then they take over. They take over the rides. What could be scarier if you were a kid, Scott? Like ready to get on the teacups at Disneyland, and suddenly this guy with no teeth takes over, and he starts cranking up the speed on the teacups.
Well, that's the fear.
You're gonna spill your tea.
That's the fear. So everybody's so concerned that, oh my God, they have machine guns and they're gonna take over the park and they're gonna kill people. They're gonna do something bad.
But why, Scott? Why, Scott? Why are they taking over the park?
Well, because from the owner of the park, the Mr. I jotted down his name here. The owner of the park, they're getting from Harry Jacobson. He's being blackmailed for $10 million.
Lonnie Anderson wants him to get the money and drop it off via helicopter in the middle of the park.
Yes.
Hopefully it takes place in the last 15 minutes of the movie.
Because if he doesn't do it, they're going to slightly increase the speed of the rides.
Making the risk of lawsuits become astronomical, and Harry Jacobson hates the idea of lawsuits.
That's where this movie goes. The movie truly goes to a place where if you don't pay me $10 million, we've taken over your park, we will
make people mildly uncomfortable.
Yeah, we'll make them uncomfortable, we'll make them sick, and they will talk badly about your park.
Hey, there's no
that's
good,
it.
There's no good press like bad press.
That's it. That's all they're going to do. And they want $10 million for it.
Mm-hmm.
That's it. That is it. They're not, it's so fucking ludicrous, like this idea of that's...
Little did they know they locked up that park. They locked it down with 3 ninjas and a tech nerd girl in there.
And a washed-up TV star, Dave Dragon, looking for redemption.
Yeah.
You know, as we get more into this movie, I think it's important that we talk to a very important person that before we did this, we wanted to chat with someone.
We wanted to secure a guest for this Gets Jerked episode.
Now, you know who this person is.
But you know who this person is.
We wanted to talk to...
TumTum.
Yes. you wanted to talk to TumTum because he was the character that you thought was most interesting. And it's not been played by the same guy. And as you said before, it looked like that kid worked really stiff. Like,
Yeah,
it
he looked like
really...
he because he was so small, I think he had to work so stiff. And that's why I asked Craig about it. But I wanted to see, like, is he really that stiff? I mean, if you're that small, you've got to still make a name for yourself. You still got to pop him one, you know?
Yeah. Now, is that the guy who's in the lobby right now? 'Cause
Yeah,
there's someone... okay, I didn't know who that was.
But yeah, I mean, he was very polite, and I wasn't sure it was him either, but then I asked him. It actually is, in fact, TumTum.
So this is TumTum number 4. This is that kid that's just way past his prime. Let me see the actor's name here. Of TumTum. If you want to get him in,
I'll bring him in.
I'll vamp a little bit while I look up the actor's name because that'd be really unprofessional if I don't know.
Well,
his name.
Scott, here he is. I hope you. It's very good to meet you, Mr.
James Paul Roeske II.
Thank you for having me. It's quite a pleasure to be here on the Curtain Jerks podcast.
I see here on your IMDb, James, you also go by J.P. Roeske II.
Yes, indeed. Quite an acronym, if you will, or initials.
Now, I want to make sure I'm pronouncing it right. You haven't corrected me. It's Roeske.
That is how you spell it. How do you pronounce it?
Roeske?
Roeske.
Oh, Roeske.
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 James Paul Roeske II. Who was your father? Was the first?
No. I had a brother who died. He grew up to the ripe age of 35 and he died, and then my parents had me and named me the same.
I'm laughing at something earlier. I assure you, I'm not laughing at the fact that your brother died. That would be incredibly insulting.
No. I like to think of it as I'm a carbon copy of him.
Oh, I see.
Yes, my parents told me as such. I had a brother, he had my name, he died, and I am the representation of him.
Now, for the listeners at home, let me just...
Aphex Twin had a similar situation.
Aphex Twin?
Yes, the artist, the multi-technicultural artist.
Well, please explain.
Well, Richard D. James is the DJ known as Aphex Twin.
Uh-huh.
On one of his album covers is a grave that says Richard D. James.
Uh-huh.
His parents had a child and named it Richard D. James.
Uh-huh.
It died.
Again, I'm laughing at something from earlier. I assure you, it's not having to do with any of these dead brothers.
Certainly.
If I could describe...
Would you like me to finish the story?
Oh, I thought you were done. Dead brother. I'm sorry. Please go on.
After he died...
Yes?
My parents had another child. His parents had another child. Goodness, our stories are so similar, it's almost as if they gave us the same name. And they named him Richard D. James.
Uh-huh.
He's the second one.
Oh, okay.
So they just named him the same name.
That makes sense. I understand now. And then they just added a 2 at the end.
Roeske.
Oh, Roeske.
The second.
The second. Now...
What are my first 2 names?
James Paul.
Thank you. I just wanted to hear someone say it. I always appreciate a good audience.
JP,
Yes, Scott Narver, Steve Sears.
To describe for the listener at home, you are dressed very eccentrically.
Yes, it was a character choice.
Well, I mean right now. I don't mean in the film. I mean right now.
Oh, these old things?
Yeah, well, they do. Very vintage, as wrestling announcer Michael Cole would say. It's a sort of Shakespearean outfit that you have, and you have a handkerchief that, as you speak, you tend to twirl it around as to gesticulate what it is you're talking about.
Is this distracting?
No, it's hypnotizing.
Perhaps I should take off this smiley face mask and put on my sad face mask.
Well, I see you're doing some commedia dell'arte for us.
Thank you.
Well,
my body is my instrument. That's why I work so stiff.
Well, that's what we want to ask you about, TumTum. That the character of
Please,
TumTum.
Scott, it was just a character very long ago.
I'm sorry. Sometimes I just get so wrapped up. I call people by their character names. We have John Morrison on the show.
I think I know where you're headed next.
Well, then,
You'd like me to say one of my titular lines from the film?
please, if you could, yes.
Why do you keep hitting your face with my feet?
That was one of the lines in the film.
Oh, thank you. An artist, often I feel like people will hate to relive their great performances. I have no shame in it.
Well, it's nice. I saw you at Comic Con.
Did you? Oh, exclusive comic.
But I hadn't seen the film yet, so I felt awkward in walking up to you. And Steve already knew you from auditions and stuff like that.
Oh, is he here?
Yes, he is here. I don't know where he's gone to. I feel awkward just being in the room alone with you.
Oh, you seem to be sweating. Allow me to get that for you.
Thank you for dabbing me off with your handkerchief.
Oh, I'll dab you off. I'm just kidding. That's a bit of an acting joke.
Well, do you still keep up with martial arts now?
Oh, indeed. Do you see these incredible skills?
You, for the listeners at home, you threw your handkerchief up in the air, waited for it to drop slowly, and punched it.
Yes. Very dynamic. Take that, Dana White.
Dana, you got a problem with mixed martial arts in the UFC?
Certainly not. I just know that I would dominate if ever invited to perform.
Really? Well, I think they say fights. I don't know if they
Pardon?
say invited to perform.
I'll take any date, any theater that'll have me.
It's not a theater. It's an actual fighting competition.
Indeed, sir. Indeed. What a wonderful, wonderful presentation. What a grand production. The UFC.
Well, James, it seems like you're a little out of touch with reality and what's happening these days.
Hold on, I'm getting a page. I have a small little boy with a scroll here. Yes? Yes. No. Absolutely. Certainly not. Indeed.
He's reading.
Yes.
He's reading
I'll
the
take
scroll.
it.
He's reading the scroll and responding to it. The boy's saying nothing, and the boy has rolled up the scroll. And what has been offered to you?
I just have to put my signet and have my seal on this.
Have you been offered another acting role? Is there another Three Ninjas movie in the making?
No. It was a request from the CAA talent agency to stop submitting.
Ah, I see. Well, I'd be our listeners would just be furious with me if I didn't ask how was it working with Hulk Hogan.
Terry Bollea. It was all right.
Well, thank you so much. That was James Paul Roeske II.
See you in the pictures.
Steve, thanks for bringing him in. I don't audition that much anymore, so I don't get to meet all these people.
Yeah, sorry I hid behind his chair the whole time.
What did you guys audition for together?
What?
You guys met at an audition. What did you guys?
It was a Nerf commercial.
Who got it?
Neither of us apparently.
Neither of you.
Yeah, I thought I had it on lock, but I met him in the audition room, and I was like, "Hey, you look like TumTum." And
if you were 25 years older.
Yeah, and just always wearing a cape.
Well, okay, so
he kind of looks like a flavorful Dracula. Does that make sense?
Yes, sadly it does. Well, so back to the film, and I use that term very incorrectly. Fights ensue left and right. There's Wild West stunt show fights where the Wild West show is happening, and the ninjas show up, and then these other guys are fighting, and the crowd just loves it. They're bored with the show otherwise. They think it's a piece of shit.
Dave Dragon gets captured, and then all these kids are saying, like...
And he takes the wig off. That's not permanent. Like,
yeah, he takes the wig off.
He's Hulk Hogan bald.
Oh, does he take the wig off at the end to do all the... No, he takes the wig off, and then he puts it back on.
When he's done with the show.
Yeah, but then when he goes back out to do some more fighting, he puts the wig back on.
Yeah, then he lives the lie again.
Yeah.
So, it's weird to...
The lie, Scott? He's a hero.
Well, it's so weird that... Why doesn't Hulk Hogan put on a wig like that then when he wrestles?
Because wrestling's real. It's people that are fake.
That's true.
I'm an asshole.
Thanks, Ken. Fights galore. They fight there. They fight...
They fight.
They infiltrate the control room because the control room.
Oh, Hogan has a pretty cool fight inside of the center of a roller coaster. Not like the roller coaster is a planet and he's fighting in the center of it. Just fighting inside of in between the tracks.
Yes, he's fighting in between the tracks. He fights in the control center for the park.
Mm-hmm.
He fights some guys, and then there's one of my favorite moments is when they pin him down after a little bit. They roll him over so Lonnie Anderson can talk to him. And one of the henchmen doesn't grab his free arm when they roll him over. And Hogan just doesn't really do anything about it. but you see the henchman, the actor, legitimately like, oh shit, and grab his
At the
arm
last
when
second,
Hogan
yeah.
could have just decked everybody and gotten out of the way.
I'm a big proponent of wrestlers either playing themselves in movies, like to the extent of Hulk Hogan being in Gremlins. Is it Gremlins?
Gremlins 2, the new batch.
The new batch. I would rather, like, if instead of him just fighting gremlins or yelling at the gremlins in the projection booth, I would love for Hulk Hogan just to be, like I said, same as the chaperone, waiting in line at the bank, taking a while. Somebody gives him a little bit of guff, and he punches him in the face. Then he clotheslines him, and then leg drops him. You know, off that little table where you sign your checks and fill out your deposit stuff.
Yeah, the little counter there.
The little counter. This is the same, like, anytime a wrestler just plays themselves, they can then rip off their jeans and their shirt, and they're wearing their gear, and then they solve crimes and beat people up. Do you know how great that would be, Scott? How many movies would you go to see if wrestlers played themselves in movies?
Well, I hope for this one that it would be something like that, but this not in this piece of shit. Like this, I would see many more movies if it were like that.
That being said, I did like this more than Little Hercules.
Yes. Although that's such a train wreck.
It did have its
more
moments.
fun because this doesn't have a lot of Hulk Hogan in it, nor does it have a lot of Jim Varney, which really would have saved it.
Jim Varney and Hulk Hogan I would have watched them playing cards. They would have been great.
That would have been fucking awesome. But I don't think those two really get to do anything together on screen.
No, I don't think so.
But Hulk Hogan and Lonnie Anderson sure had some sexual tension between them.
Yeah, they did.
What's that? What, your favorite part?
Well, there's this one part where Lonnie Anderson puts her knee-high boot on Hogan, and she's like, "Don't worry, blah 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 blah," and that's all the kids would be hearing anyway, because they'd be like, "Whoa!"
Yeah, because it's just pantyhose-covered tan leg pressed on him.
It's like seeing Michelle Pfeiffer in Batman Returns for the first time. It's like, what is that doing in this kids movie? It's like, well, we got to start somewhere. Objectify, 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 objectify.
And so throughout this movie,
you know what? Actually, now that I think about it, I had just a total fucking breakthrough. Can you imagine if Batman Returns was like your first sort of exposure to any sort of sexualized imagery, and it happens to be fucking Catwoman, this strong, sleek, fucking scary, sexy woman? Like, if anything, I feel like that does more damage than good. It's like a supervillain woman. It's like, yeah, sex is dangerous and terrifying.
Yeah, I don't know what that'd be like at all.
Just
in high school, getting laid on the couch, waiting for pussy.
Waiting on.
In the film,
how
the
could
kids,
you? I'm a woman. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't. Hi-ya!
The kids take everybody out. They no matter if they have guns or not, because the bad guys don't use them. The bad guys don't do anything to the crowd. They don't shoot.
Well,
at
there
them.
is one. There was one part that I think was cut out from the movie when Hogan escapes the roller coaster. He's sort of climbing like Spider-Man at up the roller coaster sort of girders.
Yes.
And all these guards. I should point out, Hogan left the center where there was just full of people. There was 100 people
that are disappointed in him for not doing anything because he's a TV action star.
This is actually said.
And a kid comes up and gives him shit. A kid comes up like,
"You're not gonna do anything? I thought you were a hero, not a phony like my dad says."
Yeah, we really thought he was gonna say, like, "You're like a phony, just like my dad."
Says. That pauses there. But anyway, the guards are on top of the roller coaster shooting down at Hogan, and they cut out the scene where all the hostages are getting shot behind Hogan as he's climbing up towards them.
Yeah, because he's firing down. These all 8-10 guys with machine guns are firing down, and that crowd is just getting pulverized. But
by the way, the cops are also, and the FBI dad of the ninjas are waiting outside of the park also.
Eventually, they show up because the kids yell fire into a
walkie-talkie.
Into a walkie-talkie that they find, and then everybody, all the police force, all the fire department, all the FBI shows up because the kid yelled fire. A kid yelled fire. But if they said it was taken over by bad guys, they wouldn't come. That was their logic.
They're going to think we're talking jokes.
They're going to think we're messing with everybody.
Yeah, what? This is a restricted channel. Who the fuck are you?
Yeah, I was really hoping that they were going to recreate that part in Die Hard, or just like, "Welcome to the party, pal," and then throw a henchman with a ponytail onto a cop car that's dead, and then the cop car's just barreling backwards and
then goes down that slope.
Yeah,
man,
into the ocean.
We should watch Die Hard.
We should.
And Batman Returns.
So the kids take everybody out. They beat up Jim Varney. They stop everything. Spoiler. If you're listening to this, you clearly didn't care about what happens in the movie. Lonnie gets her money, but the kids stop her. There's bombs that are defused. It's really a confusing third act, all in all.
They use some scuba gear to make a torpedo and then send a bomb into the ship that Lonnie Anderson and Ugg and the cousins have all escaped to. It's kind of like the end of Star Trek 2.
Which blows up. They blow up a boat.
No, wait, Star Trek 5.
They blow up a ship, I should say. They blow up a big ship that Steve was able to decipher that it's not the same ship. It looks pretty similar.
No, they just
to the
use,
ship in the movie.
They use stock footage from another movie.
So, yeah, that happens, but Lonnie Anderson, they all get away. Everybody's fine. No one dies. That's the thing in this movie. Nobody dies. Everybody just gets hit by child fists that shouldn't do any damage, but it knocks them out, which is what bothers me. Like,
Well, TumTum works stiff.
yeah, no matter how
It's a
stiff
movie. You don't
work-
even need to work heavy.
I can't. That's what never brought me into these Three Ninjas movies, because the littlest one just never looks like he hurts anybody. It's like me beating people up.
I would watch that. I think that'd be cool.
What, me beating people up?
No, actually, to be honest, I guarantee you're gonna be in a movie and I'm gonna have you beating people up.
We should just put the bug in everybody's ear right now. I mean, you hear how much we talk about movies. You hear us watch these things. You hear the connections we're starting to make with people. We should make a Curtain Jerks movie.
Curtain Jerks the movie or
Something
a
like
Curtain Jerks movie?
Something like that, because, Angry Video Game Nerd, he's got his movie that ties into his franchise and what he does. He's clearly a film aficionado. We know people. We're in the town. Just putting it out there if you guys are interested in something like that. Who knows? Maybe there'll be a Kickstarter someday.
Hey, maybe it'll be like that WrestleMania movie.
The WrestleMania movie.
Yeah, that one they were shooting.
Oh, No Holds Barred?
No. WrestleMania movie. Remember?
No, what?
They shot that when they were in Seattle. They were shooting.
Oh, they shot the footage for a documentary.
I thought they were shooting for WrestleMania the movie.
Oh, what I always understood was they shot footage for a documentary on WrestleMania.
But it never came out? Or
No,
was
they
that
did. It was like a
the
special
story,
feature.
That was the story of WrestleMania from a couple years ago.
No, it's it's a feature in a DVD.
That being said, I would pay money to go to the theater to watch a year-long feud, like if they made a compilation one, leading up to a WrestleMania match.
Mm-hmm.
Like Cena and Punk would be awesome, showcasing Punk and his journey going up to Money in the Bank and to their rematch at SummerSlam. That'd be awesome.
It would be cool. But,
that being said, I'd make a Curtain Jerks movie.
well, I think we can make a better one than this one. Because, granted, they brought the story back together because in the final fight sequence, the ninjas had to learn to fight in the dark, because Lonnie Anderson shot out all the lights.
And so they listened. They could hear the ninjas
They
coming.
focused after, again, swinging at nothing and running into things and almost falling off of ledges.
Yeah, it's because a lot of kids did not get punched in this movie.
So they focus, and it all comes to fruition. So now they're uber ninjas because they can fight in the dark.
Goober ninjas.
We can do that. We can make a better movie than Three Ninjas High Noon at Mega Mountain. We can turn $1 for these
Man,
studios.
you're really fired up about making a Curtain Jerks movie.
Yeah, because when we have to sit here and watch these piece of shit movies for these Get Jerked episodes, they're just terrible.
All right.
We watch for you guys. Hopefully you find enjoyment amongst it. And what the fuck is Hogan tearing through on this cover?
That's the poster. He's tearing through the DVD cover.
All right. Well, I thought this was funny that we look at some of the stuff here for the trivia. All right. So we're going to go to the IMDb page and we're going to read some trivia here. Elitch Gardens, where the movie was filmed, was completely remodeled for shooting. Although the park and ride signs were changed for the movie, in a few places, the real signs for the rides and parks are in the background. This is Elitch Gardens.
Oh.
Have you ever heard of that?
Isn't that the Lord of the Dead, Lord of the Undead in Warcraft?
I have
3?
no idea.
No, I'm thinking of the Lich King.
This was indeed Victor Wong's last film. That's in trivia. That's not a
man.
good thing. I love Victor Wong.
Why didn't they put that in the bummer category?
The only Three Ninjas film without narration from the boys at the beginning and end. Max Elliott Slade was supposed to play Colt in this film, but went back to school instead.
Oh man, Max Elliott Slade. Wow, that's a shame.
This is the only Three Ninjas film to where the main antagonist is a woman. Because they're growing up.
Interesting if you think about it, because Rocky is now trying to get some money so he can get his car once he gets his learner's permit. So if you think about it, it's really about Rocky's sort of not sexual awakening, but understanding of gender and a new paradigm shift.
Victor Wong thought this was the best out of all the Three Ninjas movies because the boy's character developed deeper.
I wonder if that's an actual quote.
I hope those
Maybe.
weren't his last words.
That's
what I hope.
It sounds like it was his last text.
This was the best one of all.
Yeah.
And despite the long line of stunt people for this movie, all of the actors actually did some of their stunts.
This is true. When it wasn't an Asian guy wearing a wig.
So, yes, and you know what? We got a quote from TumTum a little bit earlier, but here's some other famous quotes from this film. Rocky says, "It's no good. We need a 3-prong outlet."
Oh, that's true. Classic. Remember when that happened?
Yep. I do. Yeah, it's towards the end when they're trying to defuse
Hey,
the bomb.
no explanations.
Oh, okay. I'm sorry.
I think a lot of these stand better on their own.
All right. Jessica says, "TumTum, I made your favorite bacon, lettuce, tomato, bologna, ham, and Swiss cheese sandwich." And TumTum says, "No thanks, Mom. I'm not hungry."
Huh, who could forget?
Oh, man. That was a big sandwich.
Let me see if I can remember one. I think it's, "What's wrong with your brother?" Nothing. He just gets a terminal case of the stupids when he's around Julia.
Yep. That was one. And not a quote, when the gigantic fat cousin, the Bray Wyatt cousin, screams at the kid that you play in the movie, like the pompous.
There's a pompous, very narrow, blonde-haired kid.
Yeah, when he yells at him in line, this kid's been a dick the whole movie. He pees himself. Now, normally when you see someone pee themselves in a movie, they cut to the ankle, like around where the ankle is, and you see dripping pee from the ankle, like pant leg down to the floor, something like that. Or maybe it's a wide shot of you seeing the urine just fill the front area. Not in this movie, not with little kids. No. You zoom in right in on the crotch and show it getting wet.
And it's not just wet fabric. At one point, you see airborne fluid.
Yes, twice.
Yeah, and then they cut to reactions, and then they cut back to the fluid.
So uncomfortable.
What's the guy's line? "Dude, you peed your pants." Actually, that's a great fucking line.
It is. This is such a weird movie. They have all that stuff. They have ninja kids fighting.
You know what the vibe is I get from this movie was like Bible camp okayed film. Like this one was like, this is the same production team that did Bible Man or Christ Child or The Golden Child.
It's really something else. The fight scenes are interesting. I don't know what else to say about it. It's bad. It is bad.
It was enjoyable. I had a fun time watching it.
I had a fun time watching it, but it's bad. Like, I got this for free from a Borders.
For free?
Yeah, remember before I went on the ship?
You got that treasure chest.
I had like a $70 gift card, and it turns out I just found a gift card, and then I went there for a Borders that was closing, and I went, oh man, everything's gone, because everything is gone. And I go, oh, wrestling stuff. There's always wrestling stuff.
Yeah, that's when you get it. Wrestling stuff on clearance is the best.
So this was one of the things I got. This was free, and yet I'm still perturbed.
You know what? I actually remember watching a bit of this movie alone on cable once, and I'm so glad I didn't watch all of it, because then I got to enjoy it with you, Scott. These are any of these Get Jerked movies are 1,000 upon 1,000 times better if you watch them with a friend.
Yes, that is absolutely true. So, you know, we watched this. We still have more stuff to watch. If there's ever anything that you think we need to watch,
any requests, let us know.
Please let us know. Email us, curtainjerks@gmail.com. And if there's something that you want to send us, maybe you have some gem, some VHS tape, or some DVD of some movie that you're aware of.
Some weird 15-second clip of some woman just getting brutally murdered. Keep it to yourself.
Well, keep that to yourself. But, you know, we talked about doing the Marine-a-thon. We don't have Marine number 3, and we've both not wanted to pull the trigger on buying it. I have Marine 1 and 2 from this Border sale, but if you want to send us Marine 3 because you want us to do the Marine-a-thon that badly, contact us, curtainjerks@gmail.com, and maybe we'll do a Marine-a-thon. Steve is wincing and making faces like he doesn't want to do it.
That's like 9 hours. That is 9 hours. All right, sounds fun.
It'd be pretty bad.
Yeah.
So, Three Ninjas, High Noon at Mega Mountain. Steve, final verdict.
Hey, we watched it for you.
Yes, but your thoughts on the
No,
film.
that can be in quotes, so they can put that on the on the Blu-ray release.
Would you recommend for any listeners who's like, oh man, I heard what you guys talked about?
This is for diehard Hulk Hogan fans or people who feel like they have to complete their Three Ninjas experience.
I would say, listeners, I hope we did enough for you in the episode that you don't have to endure this, that you don't have to watch it. But maybe if you have a group of friends and just want to watch something just terrible with a wrestler in it, this will fit the bill.
Yep.
So, for Curtain Jerks, I'm Scott Narver.
I'm Steve Sears.
Enjoy your wrestling, kids.
Scott, what a great show today.
One of the best, always the best.
Great bests.
If you want to get interactive with Curtain Jerks, which I know you do, Steve,
Absolutely. That would be another great best thing to do.
go to facebook.com/Curtain Jerks.
Hey, that's a great place to see photos of you with wrestlers and
Looking
interact with
stupid.
us. The
I look
hosts.
stupid.
Hey, you look pretty classy.
But yeah, get interactive with us. You can talk with us on there. We post matches, photos, videos, all kinds of stuff.
Is there another way we can interact with our fans?
We can interact with all these jerks at Twitter. Twitter.com/Curtain Jerks.
What a great Twitter handle.
We tweet all the time.
We
love
tweet at
the
breakfast.
tweets.
We do live tweets of shows, live tweets of live events.
I should wake up for breakfast.
Yeah, you should. You could tweet it.
And of course, listening to Curtain Jerks is massively important. Listen to Curtain Jerks on comedypodcastnetwork.com, Stitcher Radio, and iTunes. All free.
Rate and review us on iTunes. Makes a big difference to
That's
us.
huge.
Yeah,
That's huge.
fantastic.
It makes us a global phenomenon.
You have received this transmission from the Comedy Podcast Network. For more shows, visit comedypodcastnetwork.com.